Hey, Bruce. I saw on the practice lines you had Bjork skating a little bit with Bergeron and Marchand. Is there a chance he could factor into the lineup in that spot for tomorrow's game?
Yep, there is. Some of it depends on Craig Smith. He was skating today, so people get moved around. Obviously, Frederick, Bjork, Studnicka. If the rest stay in, which is the plan, then you got 2 spots for 3 guys. So we wanted to make sure we put him in that position to get a few reps. He's been there before. Andres has been moved around throughout his whole time here. And the good news is if that's the case, you're always in the lineup. The bad news is you don't really get to develop chemistry, but injuries dictate that. So we do our best to try to, fill in guys who we feel have the best chance to succeed and to keep guys sort of in the mix. And again, with good options to put in there, it's never really a bad problem to have when you got anybody you can put in there and feel they can contribute.
Go next to Fluto Shinzawa. Go ahead, Fluto. Let's try Joe Haggerty. Go ahead, Joe.
Hey, Butchie, you touched a little bit on just the even strength scoring last night, or even strength offense, and kind of maybe not enough there. You got the 2 power play goals. I know it's a super small 1-game sample size, but what did you want to see more out of 5-on-5 maybe after the first period?
Well, we need to finish. I mean, we look at stats obviously to see what are we generating. There's a bunch of them out there. You know them all, and certainly if you look at the numbers, we expected to score more than 0, 5-on-5, and we just didn't finish very well. So that's part of it. Had some good rebound chances. Richie had 2 of them going to the net. We've encouraged that. I think Grizzlich was in there for a rebound. Jake maybe. So getting to the top of the crease for second chances is something we always encourage. Getting in front of the goaltender, we didn't do enough of that. We had lots of play from our D with low to high, the way they collapse, and taking away his eyes is something we need to do better. So some of those maybe shots from distance find their way through, or at least he's got to fight harder to see them. So that's an area we can get better at. I think some of our attacks broke down. We had some odd man rushes there where we didn't generate much action. So that's execution. So we got to be a little cleaner there. First game of the year, you're going to have some of that. So those are probably a couple areas that we could certainly be better on.
Let's try Fluto again.
Hi, Bruce. The Corrali line last night, aside from Sean, that strip on the goal, looked like they had some chances, skating well. What did you see from that group last night?
Yeah, they made some plays. I mean, Wags had a couple chances off the rush. Corrali turned up, hit him. Another 2-on-1. So they were getting to get to the front of the net. A couple of loose pucks that just squirted by him. So at the end of the day, it's something that they're capable of. They're not going to lead our team in that area. We know that, but they need to be part of it. Secondary scoring opportunities. It's always good for the group when you get production from down your lineup. I mean, I know our guys always feel good for those guys because they do a lot of the dirty work. So like I said, I thought they were skating on top of pucks, just finishing a little better. And then a couple of times I think they could have went low to high when they were swarmed under pressure. Or jerseys, it's something a little bit new to this year where they really collapse and try to squeeze you off below the goal line. You got to get pucks up to the top and then make plays from there, whether it's a shot and a tip, a rebound, maybe a seam pass, get into a 3-high situation where you hit a forward high. We did that a couple times too, not necessarily their line, but so that's it. Just a matter of, finishing on your chances. So I like what they brought. Did a great job in the kill as always. So they did their job.
Dan Roach, go ahead.
Hey, Bruce, how you doing today?
Good.
Love the crisp from one TV guy to another. Love the crisp white shirt last night. What's your go-to brand?
That's a good question. What was I just changed actually? Donahue, I think, is it called? What's the guy's first name? God, I should remember that. You know why, Dan? I don't, because I bought them so long ago. I haven't needed one for 9 months, so they've been in my closet. But anyway, thanks.
Yeah, and just the challenge of this is like the first of 26 back-to-back games you guys will play. What are the challenges among some of the challenge presented doing that?
Well, we feel we have good depth. Ted Baker. There, I had to think in my head. I got it down. That's one
Gotcha.
of them.
Thank you. Good brand.
So, the back-to-backs, I think, play in our favor. I think we're a structured team. That always helps. When fatigue kicks in, you rely on your system to carry you through till you find your legs. We got 2 goaltenders, so that can both play. So we feel comfortable using them both. So again, we tend not to try to be heavy minutes on everyone in our lineup. That changed a little last night with the overtime and a lot of power plays. There was guys up above that, that they normally would be. So we just feel we have a lot of depth in our lineup. So that'll help in those, if that's what you mean, or do you mean just playing the same team twice where you get to look at them? I wasn't really sure.
No, I mean, that kind of answered it. Will Yarrow go as assumed tomorrow?
Yarrow will go tomorrow. We were debating whether it would be Monday. His former team, I know it's been a number of years. Sometimes that factors into goalie Bob's decision. But we talked about let's get him in now. It was going to be up to Yarrow whether it was going to be tomorrow or Monday, depending on how he felt with his workload. He feels good, so he'll get in the net tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yep.
Matt Porter, go ahead.
Hi, Bruce. For the record, I was wearing a suit last night. I don't know if that matters. I know it doesn't.
What color shirt?
Actually, a blue check with a red tie. Kind of did a patriotic thing.
Good.
But I know you have chats with players all the time, whenever possible. But watching you chat with Charlie McAvoy, watching Kevin Dean do the same had me curious. What was the message to him after?
How did you see that from that far away? You guys got spies?
We're on the concourse level for practice. Can't see anything from up top into the game, but
Okay.
practice is good.
I didn't know you guys are allowed in the building.
I think I might be. I don't think anyone else is here. I think it's just me.
Okay. All right. Well, some of the conversations are directly related to the play the night before. Some of them are big picture, and some of them are, again, how you doing, how you feeling, et cetera. Generalized conversations as a more of a human to human. Today's with Charlie was a little bit of big picture about how he played last night, how he commanded, I think, or was assertive, I thought for most of the game, a little bit late, a couple of situations that I think, and the breakout in the last 2 minutes where just asking him, hey, be the guy in those situations if you feel that, you have a better play than moving it to your partner. You got a young partner, and that's your strength. It always has been. And, clearly Losey will be able to move the puck better as he gets more experience. That's an area you can take control. Some little things like that. We were talking about the second unit power play. There's been a lot of moving parts on that. But, him and Jake and Coyle now for a while have been, a couple of guys have been on it. So a little more taking control and student of the game in that area. But in general, talking about, his physicality last night and transporting pucks and getting involved at the right time. I thought he did a lot of those things well. So it was just reminding him tomorrow's a new day and keep building on that.
And Jack is a young guy. I'm curious how you think he sees, a practice like today where he's not, he doesn't start out with the first, line and,
Well, I talked to him after. I said, we got 3 guys for 2 spots, so to speak. That can change, obviously, but guys are a little more solidified. So you got him and Freddie and Bjork that have moved around a bit this week. Last week in the scrimmages, et cetera. And we're going to use them accordingly. And then from there, not read too much into it. Obviously, if you're lights out, you usually stay in the lineup, but that's hard to be for a young guy. So we're just asked, do your job, do it well every night. Give us 100% when you get over the boards, your number's called. And go from there. And if you're not in, then work hard to get back in. So it's I wouldn't call it a preemptive strike, but I don't want him to overthink things and get down on himself or this or that. So it's part of being a pro. You come to work every day, work hard, get better, and hopefully you're in the lineup the next day, or if it's a practice, you do the same. And had that talk with Zaboral as well. The guys that are a little bit new to it, regular season. Jack was here for the playoffs, a little different, but so that's how the conversation goes with those guys, and just be honest up front, let them understand what we're thinking. Obviously there's different reasons why guys go in and out of the lineup, and that's our right as coaches to pick those guys. So and then there's sometimes becomes back and forth, Matt, where they're like, well, what about this, what about that? With Jack, there wasn't a lot of that. some nights, some days there is, and that's fine. That's what we're here for. So coaches go through video with them, and and that's where it goes from there with the younger guys.